This is Ezra Locke of Coastal Virginia Home Realty with another episode of my new hit show, Real Estate Unlocked. And on today's episode, we are going to talk about the 5 biggest mistakes that first-time home buyers make when purchasing a home. But before we get started, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel for more great content. Follow me on Instagram and like my Facebook page. All right, so let's hop right into it. The 5 biggest mistakes that first-time home buyers make. Number 1, the first mistake that most first-time home buyers make is that they start looking for homes before they get pre-approved for a mortgage. That is a big mistake. What you don't want to happen is to be out showing property, viewing properties, and you don't know how much of a house or you don't even have an idea of what the monthly payment could be. You're out looking outside of your range where you could either look for a house that's lower than what you really could afford, or you're looking for a house that's way over budget. Then you find out, oh, you're pre-approved for a lower amount and your feelings are hurt. And then you're blaming your agent for not giving you the heads up, etc., etc. Well, of course, you wouldn't go through that with me because I'm going to tell you to get pre-approved before we really go and see any property. But anyway, don't look at houses before verifying and certifying your financial situation. All right, so that's number 1. Make sure you get pre-approved before you start searching and actually viewing homes. So that's number 1. The second biggest mistake that most first-time home buyers make is that they try to purchase homes without an agent. Guys, you need to have your own agent. Look, if you go to purchase a home without an agent and you work with the listing agent who's actually orchestrating that particular sale through that seller, that agent is working for the seller. So everything you say can and will be used against you in that transaction. So for instance, if you want to buy a house that's worth $150,000, that listing agent may know that the seller will take a lower amount, but they're not going to tell you that because they work for the seller. You need to have your own agent so that your own agent, through their expertise, can guide you through pricing and kind of give you an idea. Will say, well, in my professional opinion, perhaps an offer at this amount might be to your advantage, but ultimately it's your decision. You need to have your own agent who will represent you through the transaction, through all the nuances, the home inspection, negotiations of repairs, things of that nature, so that you always have some kind of coverage and someone as an advocate for your plans to purchase the home at the lowest price possible, right? So that is the second biggest mistake that most first-time home buyers make. The third biggest mistake that most first-time home buyers make is opening new credit accounts while you're under contract to purchase a home. Guys, this is a huge mistake. You are under contract to purchase a home. You need to keep your credit as it was when you got pre-approved. So no new furniture accounts. Don't go and get a quote on a car. Don't open up a new credit card account. Wait until you purchase the home and then order all the furniture that you need. You want to buy a car, buy a car. But look, don't buy a car before you purchase a house. Buy the house first, get that squared away, then open up your credit card account if you feel you need to. Otherwise, you need to kind of be dealing with cash while you're under contract. And you need to make sure you're paying all of your current bills, whatever expenses you have every month, on time. No changes to your credit, okay? You don't want any mishaps at the end if your lender decides to pull your credit again before closing. So guys, no new open credit accounts while you're under contract. Just wait until after you purchase the home. You need to have as much money saved as you can anyway, so that when you buy the new home, you can do all those little miscellaneous things you need to do, like ordering security systems, setting up your cable, and all those kind of things. If there's a deposit for opening up your utility account. I mean, all of these things you're going to need some money for. So just hang tight, be patient, focus on the actual purchase of the home, and then worry about all those other things after you get your keys to your dream home, okay? The fourth biggest mistake that most first-time home buyers make is buying fixer-uppers as a primary residence. Now, look, it's one thing if you're flipping houses and you're an investor, et cetera, you plan to purchase a house, fix it up, resell it at a higher price. Great, beautiful thing. But if this is your first time purchasing a home and you actually plan to live there, Beware of buying fixer-uppers. Be careful going into a house and saying, oh, my uncle can fix the plumbing, and my father can fix the electricity, and my mother, she can help lay down the floor and help me redesign the kitchen. You haven't figured out how much it's going to cost. You don't know what the material is going to be. You don't know any of these things, and you'll close on a house and realize that you're way out of budget to fix up the house to the way that you really desire, which means you end up with this house that you just purchased is not in great condition, so you don't really love the house like you did when you first envisioned. Look, if you're going to at least buy a fixer-upper and it's going to be a primary residence, bring your contractors in and actually get official bids, and then sit down and figure out, is this in my budget to do after closing? All right. If it's not in your budget, if it's something you can't do, ideally, you need to purchase a home that is move-in ready or in excellent condition, which brings me to the 5th biggest mistake that most first-time home buyers make is purchasing a home without having a home inspection. Guys, you have to have a home inspection. Do not purchase a home without having a home inspection. I'm gonna say it the 3rd time. Home inspection. You have to get a home inspection, okay? You don't want to purchase a home and have all of these things come up after you own the house that you wish you had saw beforehand. A lot of times when people don't have a home inspection, they're trying to keep from spending money on the actual inspection itself. You know, it can be around $350 to $500 depending on the size of the house. And you're like, we don't need that. I'll just walk around. I know about houses. I can look around and see things. Look, that's a bad idea. A home inspector, they study the roof. They look at the walls. They crawl under the house if it's on the crawl space. They look at the electricity. They look at the AC, the water heater. They look at the plumbing situation. They check for leaks. All these various things that they do with their expertise, it is fully worth the $500 to go ahead and have this inspection done rather than have a big catastrophe down the line, all because you didn't have a home inspection. And perhaps there would have been opportunity where if the seller didn't even know that the house had that issue, they would have actually paid for that repair before you purchased the home. So a lot of times your $500, you make that back in a repair that the seller says, you know what, I'll take care of that before we close. So that's money well spent. Hey, pay for that home inspection. It's totally worth it. All right, so that's a wrap. Please stay tuned for more episodes from Real Estate Unlocked.